Here we go. Antidote made. Well, no, now it's made. Analyzed. A serum created by following the tier of Angel's recipe with insulin instead of garlic to enhance protection against disasters and infection. Disasters and infection.
The blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in the sewers.
Also, let's double check to see that my current weapons are mega ultra freaking infinitely upgraded. Did all of it, right? Yeah, you're all the way up. Those are pretty much my weapons. That's about it. Alright, to the sewers then. Also, I have realized my mistake. The horned vampire is, of course, the character that made me. I forgot. Narratively, it makes perfect sense to be like, because like we're obviously going up to some sort of climactic ending thing, and so when I hear a weird clue about the horned vampire, I'm like, oh, that's probably the guy that made me, because, you know, horned vampire, and I keep waiting for the identity exactly. And while I still don't fully know who made me, I do know it was the horned vampire, because he literally shows up in visions with horns, and he's like, ah, my son. So it's like it's kind of unambiguous, all things considered. So you get to the sewers via the docks, right? Yeah, because there's a back door into the sewers from, Pillar of the Community guy's place. Listen, I can't keep every name all the time. I do like how all the pillars of the community were largely introduced into the story somewhat preemptively, so you didn't have to be confused about them along the way. I should talk to you. Stuff has happened in the city, and also your mom's gone?
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid.
What is your opinion of Aloysius Dawson?
It seems the old sod gave all his fortune to the poor and to charities at the last minute. I wonder what part you played in that turnaround.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
I don't know. The variables there may have shifted a bit, although I don't really know for sure. Gotta go this way. I almost need a mini-map in this game. I have to check the map often. I do like that they somewhat elegantly introduced all of the pillars of the community, because one of them is the first guy you meet, well, one of the first people you meet. Another one is somebody that's constantly being talked about all throughout the city as being the rich family and so on. So you already know about Aloysius a fair bit before you actually encounter them. And the guy you save at the beginning of the game on your and then you meet the guy that runs the hospital, and then you go to the hospital. The guy you save there is the pillar of the one of the next communities. So you meet him right then and there. The only one that I think kind of came out of nowhere, if I remember correctly, was Crane, the second community, or first community, I guess. It's the first community you decide the fate of. You don't really know. I don't think you really knew about her before that point. Now that there was a lot of time to set it up, since it was the first one. Oh, we're at -5 now. So there should be a way inside from over here. I also might want to talk to him about it.
Yes, Doctor?
Farewell, Sean. Take good care of your flock. And of yourself.
This Seymour
It's apparently all old.
Perhaps Sean knows something about him.
I've grown somewhat disillusioned to this game's large cast. For a period of time, it's like kind of cool how there's so many characters that are being developed and stuff like that, and a lot of them go to great lengths to be interesting. So like, the huge cast of side characters is relatively interesting and well realized on an individual basis. They usually have some kind of secret or some kind of extra layer to them that you reveal over time that kind of makes them mean something other than your first glance, and they also have connections to other characters that can be interesting, or even connections to you. It bothers me though a bit how like none of them affect the story. They are just random people standing around, and their backstory. I'm disappointed to see that their backstory largely
has been ransacked.
Oh great, the whole place? But I've been disappointed to find that by and large their entire backstory seems to exclusively exist just to color your decision-making process if you're choosing whether or not to consume them and stuff like that. And if this game was harder and resources were more scarce and it was harder to heal people, then and also if sickness was more lethal, because I don't know if it ever is lethal besides if the entire district collapses, I could see your impressions of them might affect how many resources you devote to fixing them and curing them of their ailments, and potentially leaving them to die if you have to like choose between your enemies, or I mean between the people in the town, of like who to save and who not to save, because you don't have enough for all of them.
Slaughtered. Pre-one. No, not their style.
All of them? Fuck. Like, if this game was really difficult resource-wise, then it might be more interesting to have all these characters where you're actively having to choose who to keep around and who not to. But as it is right now, the only morality thing you're dealing with instead is just whether or not to eat them, which is a little different because it's firsthand you actually murdering somebody directly. You don't have the choice to turn people into vampires on purpose, which seems like an oversight. And also they really do just go out with one line of dialogue and then they die, and then it feels like a lot of the time no one really reacts, and the story doesn't change because none of them matter to the story, which is weird, because the story involves zero minor characters. Basically, it exclusively deals with the pillars of the community and a handful of characters that are completely off of the they're off of the table. They're not in that menu of characters that you can interact with and can kill. And it just seems like a really weird system. Like, none of it has the impact that it should because it's not adaptive. The story largely, despite the fact that you have this big web of characters. Also, I am totally blindly walking around a little bit right now and going the wrong way because I'm trying to just get this thought out. In a lot of like immersive sims and stuff like that, there's games where like those types of characters would be on the table and their life or death would affect the outcome of the story and have important ramifications, and who's around at certain parts of the story and who's alive and who's loyal to you and all these other things would affect where the story goes. As far as I can tell, the story is largely completely linear in this game, and it has a handful of small branches based on decisions you make with the pillars of the communities, and those are probably the only parts that affect anything. And I think that the ending of this game is going to be, depending on how they handle it, it's going to be some combination of like what decisions I made with the pillars of the community, and then probably like some kind of point value given to me based on how much I did or didn't eat people, and not any individual stuff necessarily, because if I killed a character off camera in this playthrough, that's the main thing I think that kind of is damning, is that if I took this playthrough you guys have been watching and I killed a random character, but then I edited that part out, you guys would never know I killed that character unless it showed up in like a menu or something, or I told you, because it wouldn't affect anything. It would only affect something if it was the tipping point where that community became like critical or unstable, or what's the final one? Hostile. Which is a rather unambiguous term to use for, don't go there, you're in some mad shit. But like, yeah, this screen keeps track of who's dead, but if I just killed somebody and didn't tell you guys and hid the information from you, it wouldn't come up in the story as far as I can tell, and it wouldn't ever matter, because these people are like irrelevant. Like, I was like, oh wow, what What kind of crazy secret do you have, Camellia? What's up with you? I wonder what's going on with Camellia over here. And then, no. Instead, instead, Camellia never came up again. There just is a mysterious mute character in Whitechapel. But that never comes up because none of these characters are in any way involved in the main story. And they're just like an audience. Hello, Xiaosun. How you doing? I remember when we talked at the graveyard. That was kind of a fun scene. Anyway, bye. Forever. Like, they spent so much time developing these characters. And I take some issue with that just because of the fact that, like, this game... I would say that possibly the majority of my time has been spent talking to these characters one by one and learning their backstories. Like, the main story missions are actually really brief and not that meaty. And there's not really anything to do in the open world besides talk to all these characters and then maybe do their very brief, go get this item for me quest sometimes. By and large, you're just meeting these characters and then learning the elements of, like, whether or not they are good candidates for being consumed or if you should help them in some way and stuff like that. And this is another issue I have with this game, is that I have been told that to get the most positive, goodest, happiest ending in the game, you're supposed to not kill a single person. Period. Ever. And you're supposed to, everything's supposed to, like, all the pillars have to be alive and nobody else has to be killed. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? First of all, you have the problem where, like, this is a vampire game where vampires are supposed to have this uncontrollable hunger, and you kill someone the moment the game starts. In the main story, you kill your own sister and turn her into a vampire. So, like, that's built into the story, the idea that you consume people. And so I'll try to keep this a little brief because I've already been over this in the past, but, like, surely you should be required to consume people in this game, because otherwise, what's the point of even playing as a vampire and making a narrative about a vampire if he only has to consume people outside of gameplay? But also, if the game wants you to be a pacifist the entire game in order to get the good ending and not kill a single guy, first of all, if you have a don't kill anyone ending, even in the game, you should probably look at yourself at that moment and be like, oh shit, we've compromised our entire premise by making it possible for people to even do that. And then you should probably walk it back and be like, wait, we need to undo the part where you can beat this entire game without ever vampiring in the vampire game. Like, they should really have looked at themselves and thought, shit, we should probably reconsider this. But instead they made a good ending where you don't kill anybody. And I'm like, first of all, you spend, like, the majority of the game meeting 500 side characters, and one of the primary, like, background incentives to do that is the fact that they're candidates for consuming. You talk to them and you increase the little clue things and their blood quality. So, like, the more you learn about them, the better their blood quality gets, and then the more that you treat them with the medicine, the better their blood quality gets. This entire experience system that you get from consuming people is the entire basis of this game's premise, as far as I can tell. And the moral quandary of which people you should consume, like if you there should be no light side version of this game. There should not be a pacifist run. There should be a, like, you are the bloody butcher and you killed everybody run, and then there should be various levels between that and, like, hypocritical vampire runs where you're, like, justifying to yourself why it's okay to kill these people, and, like, all these other moral graieties that are more interesting. But also, like, if you do what, like, I talked to Wanderbot and he did a pacifist run in this game, and I'm baffled by that very premise, because that literally means cutting entire parts of this game out and making them meaningless. This entire menu, if you aren't killing anybody, which is like this is like the main menu of the game, it's the most important thing this game has to offer, it's meaningless if you aren't killing anyone. If you aren't doing it, if this is not a choice to you and you're like, no, everyone lives, period, and I'm just gonna give everyone medicine and that's it. This is at best just a management screen that helps you track who needs to get their cold medicine, and that's it. And it's like all the clues are pointless. They don't do anything for the story. The clues, aside from the couple that are about pillars sometimes, which can unlock the third option between kill, not kill, and something else, and vampire-y with each of the pillars, aside from that, like 1 or 2 clues per entire region, the entire clue system is nothing but stories. You are literally just talking to people, learning their stories, and then just walking away after giving them cold medicine or something, and then that's it. They have no connection to any other part of the game. They don't even send you on interesting missions that do anything particularly engaging or like change your perspective of the world around you. They don't intermingle and interact in interesting ways. Like, this is not the complicated web of politics or whatever you get from like Pathologic or something like that. Like, they are just random individual content modules that are only made interesting by the question of whether or not you want to kill them or another person or so on. And that's it. Like, that's a mess, man. So some of the criticisms are just kind of pouring out now because like I've had realizations of like, I've played this game wanting to like it, like really wanting to like it. I like the aesthetic, I like the premise, I like the systems that they posed as a concept. I don't think they pulled any of them off without a hitch. I think almost every element of this game is like deeply flawed and kind of unfortunate, and I don't know if you could really fix many of these parts of the many elements of this game without kind of starting over. This is very different from Kingdom Come Deliverance. Kingdom Come Deliverance was like a game that was like a technical mess, and it was like, oh Jesus, that game was just like a weird nightmare of bad ideas and so on. This game actually has many good ideas, but I think they didn't know how to pull them off. Their previous game was Remember Me, a game that, as far as I'm aware, is basically just an action game. And then they made Life is Strange, which was an adventure game that was all narrative, basically. And then they did this. As far as I can tell, this is their first RPG. And they didn't just make a bog standard RPG where you play as a knight with a sword that casts magic sometimes and fights a dragon or whatever the fuck. Like, they went full on, we're gonna make vampire RPG and we're gonna try to use relatively unique systems to actually make the vampire part mean something. And that's where they stumbled hard. Not only do I not think that the RPG mechanics are particularly strong in this game, but the premise, which sounds cool on paper, does not actually come to fruition, ultimately. And I guess that's kind of my review so far.
Where has Harriet gone? She must have left a trail I could follow.
You must have left a trail I can follow. By the way, looking at the menu reminded me, I gotta get my ass to Whitechapel. I gotta go to Whitechapel. I gotta murder that dude. I forgot. Or no, more specifically, Whitechapel has consistently been in danger, but Whitechapel's currently stable. I will gladly destabilize it just to make sure I can kill that guy. Where is he? There he is. Friar Tobias Whitaker. The moment I get to the overworld again, I'm killing Whitaker. I was fixated on the snake oil salesmen, which they deserve some kind of punishment, although the outright kill might be a little extreme. But right now, they're being saved by the umbrella effect, essentially. Kind of like how that one guy was selling people... He was selling hospital beds, and you had to pay money.
Where is old Bridget? Damn. If I'd come earlier, they would still be alive.
Like, I'm still mad at the 2 people that are selling hospital beds, so that you have to... They're taking advantage of sick people, just like the snake oil salesmen are. But Mr. Whitaker is a violent religious zealot that burns people alive. Like, holy shit.
Take not a step further, child, for you are unprepared.
You, at last. I wondered when you would show your face again. Step away. We have nothing to discuss.
Desist, child. You cannot confront the monstrosity unleashed upon this land without due preparation. I shall not allow it.
All right. But no more riddles. Enough of the obscure songs and prophecies. I ask questions, and you answer them.
My words have been as clear as crystal lakes, my child. You seem unwilling to drink, to listen, to learn.
Why did you choose me?
Only you could provide a modern, scientific answer to this ancient, mystical threat.
Speak to me of this ancient threat.
The blood of hate, vessel of the wrath of the goddess. When she awakens, a disaster will be born into this world, for she is hunger and anger.
What kind of modern answer?
Disease, contagion, and contamination. How they course through veins is your dominion, my child. Your choices have made you. Only you can save this land.
What is your true appearance?
I do not understand. This is who I am.
Blood? You are made of blood. Surely you are joking.
Why would I? And no, I'm not made of blood. I am blood. Blood is what I am since my birth and for eternity.
But who are you really? Tell me your name.
I am your maker. I am the servant of the Red Goddess and protector of this land. I have many names.
Just give me one, then.
There are those who call me Merdin Wild, the Wild Horned Man. But I never was a man. I was born out of blood.
I'm here to stop Harriet Jones. She is the original carrier. The well from which this corruption flows.
I have heard you, but be wary. Harriet Jones's mind is no more. She has metamorphosed into an apocalypse. Born from, drenched in, and driven by the blood of hate.
What is the blood of hate?
It is the curse of the goddess. It is the hunger in you, the need for blood, the will to strike and to punish, to spit in the eye of God.
Tell me about this disaster, creature. I know London fell victim to such a thing in 1666.
A disaster is pure anger born through blood. Its name means bad star, for they only appear when our queen unleashes her unquenchable wrath upon the world.
And who is this queen?
She is the Red Goddess, the Queen of Blood. In my youth, 100 lifetimes ago, she was worshipped as the Morrigan. She is my mother. She is yours, too.
The Morrigan? The Celtic goddess of war? Is this a ruse of some kind?
She has been worshipped in many forms throughout the ages. The true nature of the Red Queen is beyond your comprehension, eluding even mine. But know this, she is a vengeful mother.
So the disaster is some sort of accident. A disease vampires carry dormant in their blood, waiting to emerge.
That's your modern answer. But a disaster is at the same time both less and more.
Tell me what it is then, in your own words.
A disaster is the pure will of our queen. Whenever she dreams of walking this earth, she awakes in this putrid vessel.
I only wish to know how to put an end to this epidemic.
To perform an act so noble, you must protect yourself from its poisonous kiss, my child.
I know. McCullum used such a serum when trying to kill me. However, I have produced a more efficacious version of the antidote.
Your final task awaits you at the end of these tunnels. I've known for ages you were worthy of this challenge, my champion, Bittersweet.
What will happen thereafter? What future awaits me beyond these dark tunnels?
Your fate, my child, and the fate of this land. A disaster is about to enter this world to smite us all and teach us humility. You are our final hope.
Will it be over then? Once I've defeated this creature?
Yes. The threat will dissipate like so much smoke, for you will have purified its source.
And then what? What will become of me?
How would I know? I am no god, and your fate is in your own hands. For you are our champion.
You tricked me. My sister died for your schemes. I have brought suffering and tragedy into this world. I am not, nor will I ever be your champion.
Very soon you'll come to know that sacrifice is sometimes necessary. I understand the grudge a child bears towards his father and mother. Be brave, my child.
What could go wrong, am I right? Bet y'all were scared for a second there, huh? Pulled back at the last second. Because that sure screamed point of no return, didn't it? This is where it all came from. This is the cause of everything. You're not prepared. I am your weird mentor character suddenly showing up to give you a speech like the game's about to end. Yeah, I almost missed my chance, didn't I? But I left. Because this guy is not getting away with this shit. I don't remember what the document was. It was like somewhere in here. There's a lot of video game, honestly. Like Hawks. Vampire activity in Pembroke Hospital. I wonder if we can find it in here. Because it was pretty fucked up. Mortimer Goswick. No, it's somebody else entirely. It's not just his thing, but it's the person he was looking for. There's Crane. Nethercott is the wrong character. Yes. Father Whitaker is so righteous, so full of compassion and love for the suffering ones. Ugh. Gross. This is the guy we found dead, because he was grave robbing for Father Whitaker, which is fucked up in its own way. Let's see. Father Whitaker found an old man lying on a dirty mattress, coughing and spitting blood in a wooden bowl. Father Whitaker knelt before him and prayed a long time. The man seemed to feel better. Then we helped him find the light. I cried then and I cry now as I write these lines, for I've never seen a soul so relieved to be redeemed. He's vague about what it means there. Pores and infections go together, explained Father Whitaker, but their customers quickly get scared when there is a mention of disease. In the last brothel, we found 2 sick women sleeping together in a sinful attitude under dirty blankets. The odor was awful, once more, the smell of Satan and of the disease, explained Father Whitaker, before kneeling and praying for these 2 lost souls. The women were so frail and sick, they were not able to move when I threw the petrol on the blankets. Their souls are now cleansed and purified. Yeah, they burn people alive. Fuck this guy.
Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
But they're homophobic and they burn people alive. He's a man of multitudes, but all the multitudes are bad. You thought I'd forget about you, and I almost did. Just to be fair. Blah, 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 blah. Here it comes. Yeah, nobody will ever find us slightly out of line of sight here.
Please forgive me, my lord, for my eyes were blind to the devil in front of me. My task will remain unachieved.
Yay! Even he feels like he didn't finish his work, which is great news, because that means that I probably saved some people, because he was planning on going after even more people. GG, we did it. So, congratulations to all the thugs in this game, and, like, all the people that, like, actively make other people's lives worse. Wait.
Working nearby. Mr. Bates. Evening, Doctor.
Never mind. Not everyone's free. Hello, Mr. Rapey. I didn't forget about you. So yeah, the people that, like, extort money from people, GG, you guys get to stick around. And the people that, that sell hospital beds and fake medicine, y'all get to survive. Congratulations. Because I can't take out everybody or the entire place will collapse. But yeah, the rapists are gonna die. The organized crime leaders are all dead. The serial killer's dead. And the guy who burns people alive is dead. So there we go.
Was I that evil to deserve such punishment? My only regret is that no one will mourn me. For I have never been loved.
Maybe you've never been loved because you're a terrible human being. Have you considered that option? A large bag full of small items received by Cadigan Bates as payment for rent. Alarm clock, music box, broken watch, etc. can be recycled. Yeah, that guy was fucked up. I almost forgot about him. It's like, oh, you can't afford your rent? Well, I guess we're gonna have to fuck then, aren't we? It's like, that's basically what he was saying at the beginning when I met him. I'm like, yeah, no. No. No, 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 no. I don't think anyone else goes quite as high up as some of these other characters. Alright, well, off we go. Alright, we're back. Let's do this. Let's make things happen. They had a bad time.
These poor skals didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, it kind of fucked up Swansea. In addition to everything else, we relocated an experimental patient that caused all this in the first place directly to... Oh, was this a shortcut out? Oh, that would have been really useful instead of going through all those tunnels again. Crap. Oh, I should have gone slightly further instead of backtracking. Damn it. But you know, you never know. You never know when your chance will come. But even after all he did relocate this weird experimental person that he knew caused the problem in the first place into the Skal colony, causing their demise too. Well, shit. Well, I guess we know why they weren't developed characters, because they were gonna die no matter what. Kind of feels like a wasted opportunity, those characters.
Oh, I'm sick. So sick. Doctor, help me, please. I'm in such pain.
I'll be glad to be of assistance.
Ah, like your help, Doris. Liars, all of you. My poor baby. I've been such a bad mother. But the Queen herself forgave me. Gave me another chance.
Harriet, you must stop all of this. I can't let you infect anyone else.
How dare you interfere with the Red Queen's plans, Doctor? How can you stop the course of nature?
Oh boy, here we go. Disaster Harriet. What a name to have. Yo, kind of... Oh, crap, wasted that. Whoops. I didn't expect that blow to make her stun that quickly. Disaster Harriet. That's not a very nice name.
I was a good mother.
You just said you were a bad mother like a second ago. Have you pick a side, maybe? Which one are you, huh? I want you to hang out for a second there. Oop, that's a miss. Gotta stay out of the gross stuff. It's bad for you. Oh, she's not gonna last. Oh, wow. Surprisingly quick kill, actually. Oof. Okay.
Anger I feel. Is it wrath? I think it is. Oh, how infinitely, how intensely, how irredeemably are you all going to suffer now?
I can't help but notice that one of the primary reasons you can... Okay, so she can't be bitten. That's gonna suck. Okay, so she's just gonna like outright subvert the basic mechanics of the game now? I can't help but notice that one of the main reasons to eat people is so you can upgrade these powers. But these bosses at the end of the game are super resistant to poison. Not poison. They're super resistant to blood attacks, and also pretty resistant to shadow attacks. Which kind of invalidates the point of buying them. If you're gonna then have to fight a super big bad boss character that those things don't work on. I don't know, I feel really weird about boss fights that are immune to status effects and stuff like that. It happens a lot in JRPGs too, where it's like, oh yeah, you want to specialize in sleep, you want to specialize in stone, or whatever other the status effects. Confuse. Well, whenever you get to a real boss fight for the story, they don't work anymore. So, that was a stupid strategy. Don't do that. Well, then you're like, why do they exist then? And this fight seems really weird, because they seem to be immune to biting also. So this is a boss fight that removes the stun mechanic from the game and the biting mechanic from the game, which is a huge percentage of the upgrades you can invest in, while also nearly removing shadow and blood damage. So it's basically just a guy, pretty much just about you beating her with a club, basically. You hit her with a stick, all other powers be damned. It's kind of a weird strategy. I'm also iffy on like how that works balance-wise. It's like you actually kind of rely on blood sucking to heal and stuff like that. It's kind of an important element of the game. So all those upgrades I put into biting people are also invalid for this fight. I can't use it to heal or regenerate my blood or to do a stunned damage. This is a fight where the only thing that matters really is how much health you give yourself and how upgraded your weapon is. Is that a good boss design? Oh, what's he doing? That did a lot of damage. Holy shit. Why is my heal so bad? Is she making my heal weaker? Because my heal is like useless. Okay, what are you gonna do? She's got weapons now. Ow, she resisted it. They love to do this clone thing. Oh, that hit. Wait, that hit me? How far away was she? Also, I have to dodge red attacks on a red floor, fighting a red enemy. I don't know if that's best. I'm somewhat stalling just to use attacks like this more often, and kind of hoping for the best there. Shit. Oops.
For this is my body.
Ow. Are you gonna attack me? What's going on here? Also, can I equip new heals? Can you... Come on. Oh. That's weird. You can see... You can highlight things, but they don't show up. There we go. Can I just swap these on the fly? I can. Okay. I need one of those. Whoa, that was a strong one. Nullified? What? Fuck off. Wait, my circle from the menu is still on the screen. Can I get rid of that? Wait, what? Is that just going to be on the screen now? It is. The circle won't go away. What's happening? Alright. Are we going to fight? Something happening right now? Are you attacking me with something I'm supposed to notice? You nullified that gunshot apparently, so I can't shoot you. Can't dash you. Do I go up there? No. Huh. I'm hearing a sound. Come on. This really kind of puts a damper on things, doesn't it? Let's see, that's ammo I don't have any more of. I don't really have good guns. It's like I can't hurt him. The game's so bugged out that the mouse cursor shows up on the not paused menu. I wonder if that's related to the fact that the AI just kind of shut down. Alright. I guess I'll have to quit out. That's unfortunate.